The crowd, unbelievable over here. I wish you could have heard him on the last lap. As a young boy growing up in Mexico who worked so hard to get to the United States and make it to the top level of racing, what does it mean to you to come back here and do this in front of these people?
¿Les gustó? ¿Se la pasaron bien? ¡Éxito! ¡Viva México, cabrones!
NASCAR returned to Mexico City after 17 years, marking the first Cup Series points race outside the United States since 1958. But what happened during this weekend changed everything for Daniel Suárez and potentially altered the trajectory of NASCAR's global expansion forever. The timing couldn't have been more dramatic. Suárez entered this weekend facing the biggest career crisis of his professional racing life. The 33-year-old driver sits 28th in the Cup Series standings without a single top 10 finish in his last 4 races. His Trackhouse racing teammate Ross Chastain has captured 8 top 10s and a win this season, creating a massive performance gap that has put Suárez's future in serious jeopardy. Suárez is not confirmed for the 2026 season. Contract uncertainty has followed him throughout his career, but this marks the first time that uncertainty accompanied him to a race on his home soil. The pressure was suffocating. His racing future hung in the balance, while NASCAR cameras captured every moment of his hometown debut. Before the Mexico City weekend began, Suárez delivered a warning that sent shockwaves through the NASCAR community. Speaking to The Athletic, he made his intentions crystal clear. He said, "Once we get to Friday, it's time to be selfish because I want to be the best version of myself, and I know we can win the race. But for that, I have to execute everything right, and I have to be on my game." The declaration wasn't just confidence. It was desperation wrapped in determination. Suárez knew this weekend represented his last chance to prove his worth while racing in front of his people. The stakes couldn't have been higher. NASCAR's return to the Autódromo Hermanos Rodriguez brought challenges nobody anticipated. Suárez arrived early in Mexico City to acclimate to the high altitude and stepped up his training regimen to prepare for the track's demanding configuration. The irony was devastating. Everyone assumed he knew the circuit perfectly. "A lot of people think I know the racetrack, and I actually don't," Suárez revealed to NBC Sports' Dustin Long. "I've never been in that configuration. I have raced there several times in the oval configuration, but never in the road course configuration the way that we're going to race it. So it's going to be something new for everyone." The bombshell moment arrived during Xfinity Series qualifying. Suárez crashed his primary car just hours before the Chilango 150, destroying his chances of starting anywhere near the front. The team frantically rebuilt a backup car, while Suárez watched his dreams of a storybook weekend crumble in real time. Starting from last place in a backup car would have ended most drivers' hopes. Suárez was forced to use the International Provisional starting position, beginning 39th in a 39-car field. The mountain he needed to climb seemed impossible. "When I crashed in Xfinity qualifying, I went into Cup qualifying a little bit down," Suárez admitted. "I was good, but I wasn't 100% because I had just crashed." What happened next defied every expectation and delivered the most stunning performance in NASCAR history. Suárez didn't just win the Xfinity Series race. He became the first driver in NASCAR history to go from last to first on a road course. The 15-turn, 2.42-mile circuit witnessed a masterclass in racecraft, as Suárez systematically worked through the entire field. The Mexican driver led a race-best 19 of 65 laps and beat Taylor Gray to the checkered flag by 0.598 seconds. His victory came after a series of dramatic battles that showcased exactly why NASCAR chose Mexico City for its international expansion. With 19 laps remaining, Suárez found himself in a 3-wide restart battle with rookie Connor Zilisch and Cup Series regular Ty Gibbs. Zilisch, the pole sitter who had led 17 laps, wheel-hopped, taking the opening corner under the crowded circumstances. The mistake triggered a chain reaction that collected 13 cars in varying degrees of damage. Suárez drove through the chaos like a man possessed. The crowd's massive cheers could be heard over the roaring stock cars as Mexican fans stood on their feet, arms raised, Mexican flags waving in the air. The emotional impact of leading his home race overwhelmed Suárez in ways he never expected. More than 20 years of a career, I have never experienced what I experience today, he said after recording his 4th Xfinity Series victory. When I took the lead, I was able to hear the people like they were right here, not just in the stadium. The stadium was huge, but also in corner number 1 and 2 and 3. It was unbelievable. I got goosebumps and I felt so blessed. I have never had that feeling in my life. The sensory overload nearly derailed his focus. He added, there were Mexican flags everywhere, Daniel's amigos everywhere, people with signs saying, Vamos Suárez. I mean, it was unbelievable. So I really had to work on myself to not get distracted. Suárez's victory celebration became an instant classic. He climbed out of his number. 9 JR Motorsports Chevrolet stood on the car's roof, pounded his chest, and pointed upward to the grandstands. Speaking to the crowd in his native Spanish, he thanked his loyal fans for their unwavering support.
It's just very special, man. It's very, very special to be here in front of my people. You know, all these people that they have supported me for many, many years. They have loved me since my NASCAR Mexico days, and now fighting with the big boys. It feels good.
The victory carried deeper significance than just another trophy. Suárez's journey to NASCAR began with impossible odds and required sacrifices that most drivers never face. In 2011, Suárez arrived in the United States with nothing. No English, no social security number, no ability to rent an apartment. He lived with friends of friends while pursuing his American racing dream. In 2011, I came to the United States and I didn't have anything. I was living with friends of friends and I couldn't even rent an apartment because I didn't have social security and I didn't speak English, Suárez revealed to the Athletic's Jeff Gluck. The language barrier became his greatest obstacle. He said, somebody asked me, hey, what has been the biggest challenge in your racing career? And they didn't believe me when I said to them, learning English. I'm being serious. I've had a lot of very, very big challenges, but learning English was the one challenge where I was a little bit scared. I knew I didn't want the language to be the reason why I wasn't going to have a real shot at it. 10 years ago, Suárez faced a career-defining decision between NASCAR and European racing. He chose NASCAR despite the uncertainty. I feel so fortunate to have these roots and to have chosen NASCAR. 10 years ago, I had to make a decision, either NASCAR or going to Europe. I wanted to go to NASCAR. I'm so happy with that decision. His Xfinity victory represented the culmination of years of struggle and sacrifice.
Just the fact that we have this amazing event here, it means the world. And you know how excited I have been to be here and to have you guys here. You know, like sending you guys restaurants and telling you guys about my beautiful country, and then be able to compete and be competitive and be able to win the race. I mean, I mentioned this a few days ago, but I'm living a dream. I'm living the dream because just over 10 years ago, I left this country just trying to find opportunities in the United States with nothing, with no English, with nothing. And here I am right now next to so many great people supporting me and loving me and giving me a lot of support.
What will that mean to you?
It's very special because this win is not just for me. It's not just for Quaker State. It's not just for my team. It's for every single person that has worked so hard the last few years, because this event is not possible because they started working on it 12.
While Shane Van Gisbergen dominated the inaugural Viva Mexico 250, winning by a staggering 16.5 seconds, the largest margin of victory in a Cup race since 2009, Suárez struggled to 19th place. The contrast between Suárez's result and his victorious Trackhouse racing teammate exposed the technical nuances that make NASCAR competition unpredictable. Van Gisbergen, who received tips from four-time Formula One world champion Max Verstappen, led 60 of 100 laps in a dominating performance.